Hello again to my second part of my Barbados series, because there's so much in it, so much to learn. In the first video, I talked about how the story outline was for Neville and also some of my thoughts with it, what I learned from it. And now today, as promised, I will read like he writes it himself. Neville writes it himself in his book. And the book is the one with the title of Awakened Imagination and Search. This is the book title, Awakened Imagination and the Search. So, and this I could say also after the last video, when I met first the Barbados story with the 16-minute video. If I find this again, I will put the link in the box in every Barbados video, okay? So, now, I mean, the awakened imagination, and as I always say, miracles happen every day. Also for me, also for you. And I think this Barbados story has several hooks where we can really, go higher on those steps, right? So he writes it there. And I just read it to you and with some of remarks of mine. It was in the fall of 1933 in New York City that I approached Abdullah with a problem. He asked me one simple question. What do you want? Very important to be clear about what we want, right? This is maybe not so easy as it sounds. Because when we want one thing, we concentrate on this thing and we kind of exclude other things. Therefore, many people find it difficult to really know what they want. So this is the first task. What do you want? Okay, I continue. I told him that I would like to spend the winter in Barbados, but that I was broke. I literally did not have a nickel. If you will imagine yourself to be in Barbados, Abdullah said, thinking and viewing the world from that state of consciousness, instead of thinking of Barbados, you will spend the winter there. You must not concern yourself with the ways and means of getting there. For the state of consciousness of already being in Barbados, if occupied by your imagination, will devise the means best suited to realize itself. Kaboom, ka-ching. I read it again. This is the magic formula of Abdullah. Ooh. You know, where's my magic wand? I have this. Ooh. Magic formula comes now. Again, if you will imagine yourself to be in Barbados, and for Barbados, you now take everything you want, okay? Have it or be there, whatever. If you will imagine yourself to be in Barbados, thinking and viewing the world from that state of consciousness instead of thinking of Barbados, you will spend the winter there. Just take for Barbados your thing, okay? You must not concern yourself with the ways and means of getting there. I add the how. The how is not our thing, not our job, nothing we should think about. I'm a hower. I always think about the how. This is bad. I have this from my profession, and you probably too if you have a normal job. We have normally how jobs. Goal and how to get there, yeah? This is the task, go there to do it. We are howers. But we must erase this from our head. We must erase the how. Okay, again. You must not concern yourself with the ways and means of getting there. Because the state of consciousness of already being in Barbados, if occupied by your imagination, possession, will devise the means best suited to realize itself. I mean, this this book is red. I have with my pink marker. This is, if you put that in your own language, it's even stronger, because today we speak a little different, right? It goes on, okay? Man lives by committing, the speech is over now from Abdullah, and then explanation from Neville. Man lives by committing himself to invisible states, by fusing his imagination with what he knows to be other than himself, and in this union he experiences the results of that fusion. Fusion, ooh. No one can lose what he has. God, this is right, really. No one can lose what he has already. Safe by detachment from the state where the things experienced have their natural life. It's a little difficult, this sentence. Then again, direct speech. Again from Abdullah. Abdullah says now, you must imagine yourself right into the state of your fulfilled desire, Abdullah told me, and fall asleep, viewing the world from Barbados. The world which we describe from observation must be as we describe it relative to ourselves. Our imagination connects us with the state desired, but we must use imagination masterfully, not as an onlooker thinking of the end, but as a partaker thinking from the end. We must actually be there in imagination. If we do this, our subjective experience will be realized objectively. So again, Abdullah's speech now. This is not mere fancy, he said, but a truth you can prove by experience. His appeal to enter into the wish fulfilled was the secret of thinking from the end. Every state is already there as mere possibility, as long as you think of it, but it's overpoweringly real when you think from it. Thinking from the end is the way of Christ, of Yeshua. Okay. Neville now, began right there and then, fixing my thoughts beyond the limits of sense, beyond that aspect to which my present state gave being, towards the feeling of already being in Barbados and viewing the world from that standpoint. He emphasized the importance of the state from which man views the world as he falls asleep. All prophets claim that the voice of God is chiefly heard by man in dreams. Now, go over some things. That night, and for several nights thereafter, tells Neville, I fell asleep in the assumption that I was in my father's house in Barbados. Within a month, he shortens it now, all his doubts, Within a month, I received a letter from my brother saying that he had a strong desire to have the family together at Christmas and asking me to use the enclosed steamship ticket for Barbados. I sailed 2 days after I received my brother's letter and spent a wonderful winter in Barbados. Yeah. He now shortened it very much. In the video with his speech, his own words, he explains it much better that he really had those doubts. He kept on doing what Abdullah said. He didn't dare to talk to him anymore after 2 or 3 attempts. And then it happened. The letter came without no warning, nothing. But someday it was there and he went on the ship and spent the winter with his family there. So this is really a miracle story, right? And we all, I think, me included, we are howers. H-O-W-E-R, howers, because all of our jobs are how jobs. And we use so much. It begins in school. They trained us, and I think on purpose, that we don't get this secret. They trained us to always go the way until the goal. If you want good marks, you have to learn and learn and learn. You have to write until your fingers are bloody, until you can't sleep anymore because your numbers or the the things you have to learn is rumbling in your head, you know. Then you go into university or in college or in a job, and you learn how to fix things in the handicraft stuff, or how to write letters, how to write kind of whatever press stuff or reviews or books or whatever your job is, or invoices. It's all how stuff. We are so stuck in the how, and only a little part we think about the goals, you know, where we want to be, about the outcome, what the desired outcome is. We don't do that what Neville and Abdullah tell us here, because it's so foreign to us. It's so, you know, it's so alien almost. Yeah. We are howers. We are educated, I think, on purpose, because the real power is the here, the Neville and Abdullah way. So, and that we don't get it, we are educated in the how. How to. Look at all the books, the how-to books and the how-to videos. We are howers. What's a better word for the opposite of it? Not being a hower, we should be fusers. He says fusion, fusers. Is that word existing in the English? I don't know. Let's move from howers to fusers. Barbados guys. Be there. Beers. Whatever. I must find a word for it, because the how stuff really is stressing us, right? The fusion doesn't really stress it, although it stresses me to think that I can't do anything. But imagine, and then maybe waiting for a miraculous move or inspired action I don't see right now. You know, this stresses me also. I'm a hower. I have worked with so many companies, and when they have a problem, I tell them the way to solve it and how to deal with the strategy, company, teams, and so on. Or also in personal coaching. This is my problem, how can I overcome it? We are howers! And we have to get this kind of our minds, our hearts. The problem is it's deep down. It's in the heart. It's the inner program. And therefore it's really not so easy for us. And on top, like in the meantime, you know me, we should never want something that goes against God's laws, the highest laws, the Creator's laws. And you find them from the second book, Moses, on chapter 20 and the following chapters. There they are written, and they are valid. This is the real law. And we should never try to want something that goes against those laws. This is, I think, the only limitation in this stuff, because also Yeshua says, it will be done to you according to your belief. What does this mean? Belief is that what really is the inner program. And that what we think could happen to us, and we're convinced that we cannot do that, or can do that, or will never happen, or sure it will happen, whatever, you know. So this aligns with many things Yeshua said. And I want to get a fuser. I want to be a fuser. And it's really difficult for me, and still it is, you know, to go more on this emotional imagining side. I'm a very left-brain person. I always have the steps. I'm very good at doing some things, and I'm very perfectionist and so on. And this is all the how, you know. But to sit there and fuse myself with what I want, and only in my imagination, this is really kind of stressing me. We never learned that we have to get better at just do it with the heart, the mind, the imagination, the visualization, the affirmation, and so on. To use this first and foremost before making how plans. Oh yes, it's quite a journey ahead of us, right? Still. Okay, I've accomplished many things, but I mean, with this stuff, I think I have this. I can't say I get this. I have this already, what is so big that I never dared to even plan it, because it's kind of impossible. Let's try Neville's way, Abdullah's way. The fusion. Fuse. Okay, so this was it for today. And in the next video, I will, if I find it again, try to tell you what I found out about the Neville Barbados story in the timeline and so on, and what I found out and what I asked myself. And in the fourth video, I will tell you something that could rock your understanding, because it's also in the Neville story, but nobody talks about it. They don't have it. So if you quote me, please quote me right. So because I think it's a good thing that we honor the people we learn from. Basically, we don't want to be stealers. I also write it in the overall channel description that I really appreciate people I learn from, and also want to honor them. And the other way around, if they learn from me or you learn from me, it would be an honor to get your credit and that you say I have it from her and link my videos and so on. Yeah. I think, I will make a video about that, how hell is and how heaven is. I read a very good, years ago, a metaphor about this, and this links to it, that we should honor each other, and maybe also pay if it's really something good, and certainly, if you want, you can give me a donation, but it's really more about that we learn together and that we honor each other, if we learn from each other. Yeah, so, think about this. Fuse yourself. Miracles happen every day. And I wish you luck. Until my next video. Goodbye.